Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Tuesday, the 12th of August. This video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever. It is purely for educational purposes only to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and how you can do it too. And today we'll start with Tesla that has broken out of this triangle-like pattern here, symmetrical triangle-like pattern. Broken out here on the 8th and following through here yesterday. RSI closed yesterday above 60 threshold, indicating higher levels. We have some resistance, as we can see in the region around 357.5 in this region here. But there is potential higher. I used Fibonacci extension, measuring from the peak to the trough here, to the lowest level, and then added that to the breakout price around 325.75, and then you can see extended higher. So there is potential higher towards 400, possibly higher here in the coming weeks. If it moves back and being pulled back below the falling trend line here, well, then it will hurt the performance. And if it moves back below the rising trend line there, well, then that potential picture there is or scenario is demolished. On the Nasdaq 100, started out good, but set back a little bit. We are still in a bullish trend, but now we do have divergence here. You can see this RSI peak there is lower than here, but we actually closed higher here than here. We canceled the top and reversal pattern, so we could see higher levels, still positive sentiment, but now we have some exhaustion indication. But let's see here in the next few days what will actually play out. Pre-market, really not much to talk about, basically unchanged. Moving on to the S&P 500, didn't take out its top and reversal pattern, so that is still in play. It needs to close above the peak of that 6,427. Key support 6,200 still. The Dow Jones basically sideways. Let's see if it moves back below 43,758. It could resume downtrend and actually confirm the downtrend there. Well, establish the downtrend, but it wasn't confirmed here by our sides. That is still above 40 threshold. In the Asian session, we saw Hang Seng basically unchanged this morning here. Setting back a little bit, but still below 25,177. That is key resistance. Close above that, well, then a bullish trend has resumed and likely pushed towards 26,000. Still positive sentiment, no divergence, indicating we are likely to push there. But let's see. The Nikkei spiked higher to here's the future 138.2 projection of this correction here, smack bang on it. I don't think we tested. We smack bang on 43,000. We touched that, as you can see here. So a little bit of a setback could be expected, but we are in a bullish trend and could push higher in the coming days and weeks. On the European markets, we had EuroStoxx50 that set back a little bit yesterday, but still above the cloud, still above 55 moving average, but negative sentiment. So that is weighing on a little bit. We have 100 moving average declining, 55 moving average declining. So the indicators they don't agree with each other. We are above the cloud, but negative sentiment. So there is a risk if we push back and closes back above, below 5,277, downtrend could resume. Pre-market, really nothing to report, basically unchanged. The DAX index that got rejected at the upper falling trend line there, set back a little bit yesterday, still above the cloud, still above 55 moving average. RSI, well, it was actually below here a few days ago. Last week below the 40 threshold, as we can see. So it actually did confirm a bearish trend, and we are in a bearish trend with lower lows and lower highs. If it moves back below 23,757, then I think downtrend will resume. Pre-market, we are up a tad, about 0.25%, but let's see, it really needs to take out the falling trend line. We also have here, and we also need to take out the peaks, especially the one here from a few days ago, 7th of August, but preferably also over here at let's just a horizontal line, 24,428. Then I think we will establish a bullish trend with a potential higher. Moving on to the FX market and euro dollar. That was rejected here at the 786 retracement at 117, sliding back, getting some support at 55 moving average. If it takes out 117 and a bit here, we can see 117.04. If it takes out that spike up there, well, then I think we'll see a push higher. So if it takes out 117, uptrend is likely resuming. Still negative sentiment on the RSI because it was below 40, hasn't broken below above 60 threshold just yet. I think it could slide back, but we have some support here. So keep an eye on these Fibonacci levels. We could slide back to 115 possibly before bouncing again. But if it takes out 117, uptrend is in play. Sterling dollar. Cable also called testing or trading around this falling trend line there, just below the 786 retracement and the 55 moving average. Still negative sentiment on the RSI, could push lower if it moves back below this slightly rising trend line here. That was the neckline in the shoulder pattern. Well, then I think the downtrend will resume with a push lower. If it takes out the peak from yesterday, and especially if it can move above 135 is really, I think, a pivot point here, then we could see it pushing up to 136, but for now it seems to be struggling to do so. Euro sterling at the 786 retracement at 86.38, testing that at the moment. Will it continue lower to the 86 level, or will it bounce from here? I think if it bounces and takes out the peak from yesterday at just below 87, so 87, then we could see a retest of the resistance here around 87.35 area. So a little bit in the limbo there also. The dollar yen. The dollar yen has pushed above a minor resistance here at 148. I think it will bounce further, and what I will do now after it's bouncing, I will add a Fibonacci to this downtrend here. Say, okay, where could we be? Well, we are currently around 38.2 retracement. I think there's short-term room up to the resistance and the 61.8 retracement here at around 149.25 in this region here. I think we'll see it bounce to that. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely move up to that, where we also have the 200 moving average coming down here, kind of giving it a hard time. I know we spiked above here. We could still do that up to 150. Euro yen, again testing the resistance here at 172.40 and the 61.8 retracement. It did spike above. Let's see if it can actually, with a proper break, that would be key here. I think the next 2 days or next 48 hours, and then push above 173. If it do that, if it does that, well, then I think we'll see it also taking out the 174. If it can't really, then we could see it sliding back lower here in the coming days. So let's move on to Aussie yen. Spiked higher, and here we can also play with the Fibonacci, but I think we will push higher in the coming days despite that. But it reached the 786 retracement, 96.80. She just touched it there. RSI got rejected at 60 threshold, but still in a positive sentiment. What I will do here also, I will add a trend line. You can see it's actually touched it right there. the falling trend line, but we need a close above 60 threshold for a push higher, and I think that will materialize if it breaks above the peak from today at 96.85. Then we'll see a test of this stronger resistance here at 97.40 area. Sterling yen. Sterling yen now currently back above the rising trend line there. It's above the 786 retracement. If RSI closes back above the 60 threshold, then then I think that we have potential towards 200, but that's a really strong resistance up here. Just below 200, 199.95. It's been rejected a few times, also back in time. If not, and it slides back here below 198, then we could see it sliding back further towards 196.60. Aussie dollar testing support here at 65, dipping a little bit below. Negative sentiment on the RSI, indicating it could resume downtrend. We already have established that because we have a lower low here than over here. So is that a lower high and then a push lower? That will be key to watch in the next few days. If it takes out the move back below the cloud, well, then we have a possibly situation where a likely situation where the market will, or Aussie dollar will push lower. If it takes out 64, 65, the 61.8 retracement, then I think we'll see that. But 100 moving average coming up, giving a little bit of support. The dollar Canada bounced from the falling trend line and the 50%, a little bit unusual, but it does happen. Could push higher here, but then we have the 100 moving average kind of put a lid on. So indicators here a little bit not agreeing, but we are above the cloud. We are in a position where we have a positive sentiment on the RSI. So let's see if it can push higher here the next few days. What you can also do if you're a really short-term trader in FX market, well, we can see we are trading around the 38.2 retracement and the 61.8 retracement at 138.20, just around where the 100 moving average is at the moment. So some stronger resistance there with the 61.8 retracement. Excuse me. The sterling Canada, well, flirting with the lower part of the cloud with the 50% retracement of this move down there. RSI flirting with 60 threshold. That'll be key here the next few days. Can it close above 60 threshold or not? And push to 186, possibly higher to 187. Or will it be rejected? I think if it moves back below 184.50, then I think we'll see it resuming a downtrend. The Euro Swiss still crawling a little bit higher. Positive sentiment on the RSI indicating we're likely to touch, and we are very close to 94.50 resistance here, and the 176.4 projection of this correction there. So we could actually see it pushing higher towards 95 if it takes out 94.50. Dollar Swiss that bounced from the 61.8 retracement at 80 and a change. I think we could see it retest the peak here and possibly also push up to 82.50, but it will be a struggle where we have the 100 moving average coming down. We have the 60 threshold there being rejected, but we are still in a positive sentiment, so I think we will slowly crawl higher towards that level. Also here, if we zoom in, you can add Fibonacci to that bounce here, and here we are. We see almost at the 786 retracement at 81.37, and that would be key here the next few days. The dollar index also bouncing here from no man's land, basically. A little bit weird though, but it does happen. So let's see if it takes out the lows here from the 8th of August at 97.74. Well, then we are looking at 97 levels here. Again, these lows here below 97, 96, 85, 86. Or can it bounce actually from this level and keep bouncing. We have the 100 moving average coming down here just around the 61.8 retracement, 99.17, sorry. So we are in a bouncing mode, positive sentiment. We should push higher, but if it takes out the lows here, then I expect a push down lower. On the commodities market and metals, here we have gold that got sold off yesterday below the 55 moving average, taking back 50% of this uptrend there. 61.8 retracement at 3,322. There's some support. I think we could dip it down to there before bouncing, but let's see if it takes out the peak here at 3,410. Well, then we're looking at 3,500. But that was a sell-off that really hit it there at this 786 retracement just above 3,400. Silver also hit by a setback, but found some support here at 3,550. And let's see if there's also a Fibonacci level around that. No, not really. Well, it's around the 38.2. It's not really smack bang on. So let's see if it takes out 35.50. Then I think we could see it down to around 36.70 to 786 retracement. If it takes out the 38.50 peak here, then uptrend has resumed. Moving on to platinum. Still dancing sideways here in this range between 1260 and 1357. That's the range it needs to really break out of. Copper still flat sideways here after this massive sell-off, so really not much to say. 465 to the upside and 433 to the downside is needed for a direction. On the energy market, we have WTI crude oil that bounced yesterday, but we are still in a bearish trend and negative sentiment on the RSI, indicating like lower levels. 100 moving average pushing lower. 55 hasn't turned around just yet, so we are, yes, a bounce we could see. And will we get a little bit of a bounce up to the 38.2? Sorry, let's just adjust this a little bit. There we are. 38.2 retracement at 65.73. It is possible, and then I think the downtrend will resume. Brent crude oil, same picture really. Bouncing a little bit here. Did we get negative sentiment on? Yes, we did on the RSI, so could bounce a little bit. Also add a Fibonacci so here, and this is how you can work with it. It's like a guideline. It's not rocket science or anything, and it's not science at all. It's just 38.2 retracement at 68.62 could bounce up to that and then resume downtrend. If it takes out the lows here, well then 62 is in the horizon. The European nat gas bounced here, but still in a bounce trend, but bounced in negative sentiment on the RSI. Could bounce a little bit further. All moving average declining, expecting nat gas to push lower. If it takes out the lows here from the past few days, then expect the push towards 31 and 30. US nat gas, excuse me, bounced just above the support area here at 285. Could bounce a little bit further, but also here we have all moving areas pointing lower, negative sentiment. We are in a bearish trend, and we need to get it back above 319 and close above that to establish a bullish trend, but it will be quite fragile. Finally, on the yields and interest side, we have US 10-year Treasury yields not really doing much here past few days. I think we could still see it bouncing out to 430 area, and then I think we will resume downtrend. We are in a negative sentiment in a downtrend, so we could see it pushing towards 412. It will take something. It will take a move up about 440 to establish a bullish trend, and that's really not in the cards at the moment, but things can quickly change. Looking at the European yields, Euro 10-year that has bounced here the past few days and could flirt again with the 72 resistance. Will it close above? See it every time, and it's closed below after spiking higher. So I think we kind of caught range bound, a bigger picture here between 258 and 272 and 275 here, and what it actually spiked up to. UK 10, well, not really much of a story. 450 to the downside, and it's really 470 to the upside. On the cryptocurrencies, it is Bitcoin that is the weakest one. You'll see that when we look at Ethereum a little bit later, that made a new all-time high, where we have the Bitcoin didn't do it. It tried yesterday, but then it sat back. So it seems that it's a little bit exhaustion mode. But I think if it takes out the peak here at 123, 231, then we will see a push higher towards 130, possibly higher. Ethereum, look at this. It has still in a strong mode, despite now showing massive divergence on the RSI. It's not really confirming this, but we could see it pushing higher towards the 45,000. So really strong push there, to say the least. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day, and talk to you again later.